doesn't matter. Whatever. This type of food poisoning made me shit for 3 days.
Your whole hockey team watched the OC.
Yeah. Just boys being boys, baby.
I can't find my book, even though I'm probably going to find out there's nothing in it. I literally thought it's so funny because I don't remember the story, but I remember thinking that's a great story that I haven't told yet for the podcast. Go write it down. I'll remember. And I remember that conversation, but none of right before.
All right, well, we've started the podcast now, just so you know. That's a good way to start.
All right, fair enough. Hello.
Hello.
I read a tweet that said, "Hey, let's just record our conversations and call it a podcast." Ha 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 ha, like a dumb ha ha ha. And I was like, "Yeah, let's."
That sounds like a great winning formula. What are you talking about?
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, we had a whole format, but I'll go with maybe we'll just change to that.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
as opposed to our usual like scripted format where you and I send each other scripts throughout the whole week, and then they go through an editing process, and then we send it to Aaron Sorkin so he can so he can punch up the dialogue a little bit, and then. Like this week, he got way into smoking his crack cocaine. So, so we're recording on a Wednesday night as opposed to Sunday or Monday night. But
we also wanted to watch hockey.
The boys wanted to be boys and watch some fucking hockey, huh?
Hey, let me watch them put a thing in the thing, okay?
Yeah.
I like watching people put a thing in the thing. I watch it on my computer. I watch it in so many different forms.
Yeah.
A guy trying to put a thing in a thing. And hopefully succeeding.
Right. And sometimes you watch a guy put a thing in a step thing. And, yeah.
You know, teach their own.
Before we start this episode, I just got to say one thing about last week's episode where our good friend Wasim El Munzer, Montreal comic, who I love, very funny guy. Now we know he listens to the podcast, so fuck him, piece of shit. He reminded us that the density of a dying sun bit is not mine, as we both thought it was. But Louis C.K.'s.
Yeah. And I remember the bit too now.
Stupid. Yeah, isn't it him dragging his daughter through New York and she weighs 1 million pounds because she's like just so low to the ground? And
so for some reason I don't know why I thought
just
it
because
was
I say the word moon in my act, you're like, oh, whatever.
Didn't you have a joke once that went like from a galaxy to
I had a bit about the wombat. The biggest wombat in the world, who kept expanding and expanding until he collapsed in on himself and became a black hole.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I was confusing about. I think.
Okay.
But anyways, Louis is much funnier.
Yeah, of course. That was a piece of. That was like a year 3.
You could take some hints from Louis.
Year 3 of comedy, where I was like, I don't need to write relatable material. I
was watching local legend Rodney Ramsey on a video that he posted that he did with the CBC.
I watched
or something like that.
I'll be doing his Zoom show. I said yes to a Zoom show.
Oh, you're such a goddamn.
What?
Fill in the blank. You're such a. I can't believe you just put up such game until the right person asks you, and you're like, okay.
One of the guys I respect the most in comedy. Probably one of the best comics in the country.
He just reached out to you?
Yeah.
Probably after I said I couldn't do it, you should reach out to Jason. That was nice of me, right?
Whatever. There's some nice. Wasim's going to be on. Our friend Gabriel Massey's going to be on. And some Toronto comics and shit. I don't know. It's like a pretty long lineup for a Zoom thing. But I guess you don't want to see people doing 15 minutes on Zoom.
No,
so,
nobody does.
But he's asked.
6?
Eh?
What are you doing, 6 minutes?
I don't remember, actually. But I would be fine with 7. Less than 10, please. I got some new stuff, but whatever. I got some old stuff. Well, old stuff. The stuff I did in the between times in the summer, which was new then. What are you rubbing finger money in the air for?
It's a question.
Am I getting paid? It's a Zoom show. I'm not getting paid.
It's a form of
what do you
question.
Mean?
Yeah.
It's just for me to talk in a structured way. That's not just shitty podcasting.
Excuse me. Excuse me right now. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Rude to the listeners, rude to your partner and your lover.
You?
Rude. Yes, that is me. I am him.
No, but it's gonna be nice to like feel those stupid jitters again, even though it's just Zoom, and it's gonna be for
I did a small show with not a local legend, and I felt Mike Rose was on it, and meanwhile, so an aside, as we discussed it, I got a gig, right?
Yeah, I know you got a gig. I know you got a commercial acting gig.
For like a pretty, like, well, I'm not going to say what, but like a pretty big company, you know?
One might say they have a monopoly in this province.
One could say.
One could say there's only one of them in this province and you have no option but to go with them if you want to live.
I mean, honestly, they do have like too much power, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so I actually got this thing, and for while I was talking to the agent person, I played coy and was like, whatever, do this every day. I got like 7 that day, so just let me know what time.
Yeah, I do commercials all the fucking time, dude.
Yeah, so I then finally, once I knew it was concrete, just asked, like, by the way, where did you get my contact from? Was it,
the Comedy Nest the owner of the club? Was it?
Yeah. Was it just like, did you come to a show and your sides were split?
Oh my god, what an act! What a memorable face.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But turns out, she did a Google a lot. She says a lot.
Yeah,
so Google searching.
I Googled a lot.
She Googled a lot, and she said there are not many English comedians in this area.
There's dozens of us.
The area is Montreal, by the way.
Yeah.
So I tried personally just to Google any combination
Montreal
of words.
Comedian, English Montreal comic, whatever, yeah?
Yeah, hilarious, good looking, whatever the common things that people would probably say looking for me. And I couldn't even find an image, like scrolling down to page 7, and but the two that come up the most are Mike Carosa, and do you know who the other one is?
Mike Patterson? No,
but that's a good guess.
That's a good guess.
It's actually so much more more random, but you could figure it out. And I'll give you 2 seconds before I bore out the hell out of our... No, it's Walter.
Well, that makes sense. He's in a lot of commercials and shit.
Agents, yeah, that's what I think it is. And there's and JC LaFontaine is also pretty high up there because there 3 of them are on some website like Gig Master or something like that. So, anyways, I did tons of searching and I could not for the life of me
you couldn't find yourself.
And that's what I was thinking also. Like, she also needed my email address. Like, sure, she could have just guessed it was my name at gmail.com, but she probably got it from my web portfolio, which is for my web design. So I'm so confused, but I'll take it. I'm just super confused by it, but
whatever. It's it's work, man. It's paid work, paid comedy related work, I guess.
All that said, when I did a show there, Mike Rosa, that's why I told that story. It was on that show, and there wasn't that many in the audience, but it still got my jitters going a little bit.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, and I was talking faster than I wanted to, and
which has been your problem the entire time I've known you doing comedy. You're always like, "Why do I fucking talk so fast?" That's you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then I got a light way too early, so I was like, I'm not gonna stretch. I'm just gonna leave here. It's not like I'm on a roll. It's not like I'm in the middle of a huge story. I could just leave the second you put the light. I could stop talking and no one would care.
I love how there's a light. What is that? What do you mean? Someone just flashed their fucking phone at the camera?
Literally.
How do you not have a better system than the thing we came up with because we do shows in bars? Jesus Christ.
Whatever. It is what it is. When is your show?
I think it's Saturday.
Is it open to all?
It's a Zoom show. I don't know. You want to watch it? What are you asking?
This is going up tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah,
so,
you're right. I will maybe post it on the Friendship Hour Instagram. Maybe I'll do that.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Why would I promote? Why would I use this vehicle to promote?
What are you talking about? Oh, right. Yeah. Please come watch it if you want to watch it. It's going to be Saturday. What is that? The 5th, I guess? The 6th? Saturday the 6th.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'll be... I didn't know it was going to be Saturday. I thought it was... He said next week when he asked me, which I thought would be next Saturday. But I'll be back home for it. In the daytime, I'll be skating through an enchanted forest. It's
what?
I don't know. I found this park where you can skate for 15 kilometers in a forest.
Oh wow, you really took what I said last time seriously, eh? When I
Oh
told
no,
you
I had nothing to do with that.
Find out you're the most boring piece of shit in the world. Like, what could I?
This was
You're like,
planned
you
before
Googled
that.
MTL blog,
No,
things to do.
I saw someone on Instagram, someone we know on Instagram went there, and I was like, all right, that looks pretty good. I haven't skated in a while. I got my skate sharpened.
Oh, you're gonna be fucked up. You got your skate sharpened for a little.
My skates haven't been sharpened in 5 years. I haven't skated with my goalie skates. Which if you've never seen goalie skates, it looks like they're a prescription for someone with horrible problems. There's like an outer shell around them. They're like clown shoes for skates. It's gonna be nice.
I can't believe you were a goalie. I still think that's so stupid and funny. It's so stupid.
Well, you think it's fucking stupid that I could do the splits up until 4 years ago, huh?
Yeah. I don't even believe you could. Like, I need to see some sort of video of you being acrobatic or something. I don't believe it.
I had a game DVD of like the highest level I played up until recently, where I got scored on by a couple of NHLers, but it's gone now. Got scratched up.
NHL, so funny. The reactions, by the way, still all on that. I still loving this guy with the reaction buttons, who's on the NHL like feeds. You know, when all the games are going on, there's one person who's pressing a button for the crowd the whole time.
Oh, you're getting that stream, the one I sent you, the hockey beast.
Yeah, well, I know they're doing it live. Like, it's in the.
Oh, you're talking about
done.
that? Okay, sorry. I thought because one of the streams I sent you. The guy, every time the Canadians score, he presses his own goal horn button that goes through the feed.
Oh, no, I don't like that. I wouldn't like that at all.
No, it's brutal.
No, but see, I need to write things down during the week. There was one sound effect that I had not heard yet that I thought was hilarious. I think it was like, oh.
So
like,
to go through it again, you're talking about the guy at the game who's mimicking the crowd noises with his soundboard, who has to press like wow every time there's a fucking shot or whatever, or like boo every time a ref gives a penalty.
Is it a soundboard? I thought it was that guy from Police Academy, just with the mic.
I think you made that joke last time. I can't remember.
I don't think I did, but it's great.
Right.
If I did, it was smart both times. That guy who's pressing, like, who's just emoting for an entire crowd.
Yeah.
And I also love how like because I didn't realize at first that it's being played on like the loudspeaker in the arena, so that it's almost more for the players than
right.
it is.
It is, yeah. I mean, it makes sense because like sometimes I'll just hear the guys talk on the ice while the game's going. It's like it sounds so empty when they're skating around and like stopping. You just hear it echo through the fucking gallows of the Bell Center.
It's a weird time to watch a sport.
Yeah, but you know what? They're fucking rolling, man. Whatever. Not to make this a hockey podcast.
What's going on with basketball though? They're having fans.
Do they? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was that thing with LeBron James, right? Getting mad at that old bitch with the fucking
with another Karen. I guess they called her a Karen. They just call anybody a Karen now. I'm pretty sure they just if you're self-righteous at all, they'll call you a Karen.
Right.
That one's pretty funny. Yeah, that was pretty funny. just yelling at each other like crazy people. I love how people are so rich that they just get to. First of all, it's those seats are funny, right?
Yeah,
like in basketball.
Yeah, like the Spike Lee just yell at a player seats.
Could you imagine there was just like a row of seats on the ice?
Like
literally on the ice. Like
if you've got $7,000, you can get yelled at.
Yeah, you can sit in Gretzky's spot behind the ice, behind the net.
I don't know if you've ever seen this. People will have to it's a pretty famous like karma clip. It's maybe about 20 years old at this point, but it's this guy. I think it's Steve Sullivan played for the Blackhawks. Or he played against the Blackhawks, Chicago Blackhawks. And he got
racist.
Racist. Right. Okay. Well, he's playing against them, so he was on the good side of history. And he gets like a stick to the mouth or something, and he's like fucking bleeding because back then it was like probably an aluminum stick to the mouth, you know. And a fan like right by the glass is just laughing at him, just fucking chirping him, you know, just to use the hockey lingo, you know. And then about like a period later, like 15, 20 minutes later, a puck goes flying to the stands and it fucking hits the same guy who was laughing at him right in the forehead. And it's just the most beautiful.
I've seen that in highlights many times.
Yeah,
it's
cathartic.
It's a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Cathartic's a good word.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it
That's what they put up your dick hole after surgery. They put a cathartic in there.
It feels good. It stretched it out.
Oh god, sounding.
Yeah, now it's floppy.
Oh god. You keep a steel rod in there whenever you have to have sex.
It's got lips now. Full on lips. Imagine a penis tip with lips. Oh, that would be so annoying.
Ugh.
They'd be dirty.
Gross.
Yeah. So what else is going on, man? Did you? I've never been like more confused in my life.
About what?
When someone tells you right now that look, they can't, like when you said you couldn't do the podcast, like when yesterday or the day before, because something
that's personal
came up.
reasons.
I was like,
we're not talking about it.
I know,
personal,
obviously,
yeah.
but it's so crazy. It's like
It's just.
it's.
I think everybody.
impossible.
Just to give a roundabout answer to it, I think everybody that I saw on social media hit a wall at the same time around this weekend, just from like curfew and not, no sunlight and yeah, just have to take a day and just fucking do nothing.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is brutal, man. I'm just at the point where my whole life is just like waiting on packages and getting mad if the package isn't there yet,
I know.
and then checking if the package is there, and then checking online. It's like, well, if it's delivered, how come I don't see it? Like I'm just all day long going mental. I play not to be too much NHL in this goddamn episode, but I play NHL on the PlayStation a lot, and something wasn't fucking up. Like every time I try to like take a shot in certain areas, like the player just stands there, does nothing, and I'm like, fuck, I fucked up my controller. Because I play like a maniac, like I'm trying to break the controller.
Yeah,
the whole
same
time.
here.
That's how I'm playing. So I was like, I need a new one. So I ordered one, but it was the cheapest one I could find, which is still the brand name, but it was gonna come in a month. So I also ordered a cheap one that was gonna come right away.
Right.
I got the cheap one. I'm like, this is fucked up. It plays awful. I'm no good at it. Like I can't play with this.
Right.
I wait today. I'm so frustrated. It says delivered. It's not there. I'm yelling. I'm trying to email. I probably emailed every single person that works at Walmart. And then I just open the door and I see it's there. I plug it in. I'm like, fuck yeah, I finally get to play NHL with a normal controller. Turns out I just don't know how to play the game because it's doing the exact same thing. And I'm sitting there going, I literally just paid $80 for a new controller just to learn that it's just, I don't know.
No, dude, there's like new deeks and new moves this year, and like all these fucking 14-year-olds don't know how to do them, and I just get absolutely I used to be on like, this is the worst brag in the world. When I was like 21, I think, I was on a team that was like in the top 100 in the world for like the team one, like when you each pick a position, and like we were fucking great. I was so good at NHL like 10 years ago. And now I just get destroyed every fucking night. Just every time I play, I get absolutely demolished. And it's these kids like putting the puck between their legs and shit. It's like, what button is that?
Yeah, I can do some cool things that I love, but I also like, it's so funny the shit talking that I pretend I'm not there because I'm so angry. It's like this kid. It's just this like young idiot. Yeah. Sometimes you get these people who literally want to chat and they're like, dude. And then I once had this guy. I took the earpiece out because I always have the speaker, the headphone in because it keeps the volume off the TV, so it's not annoying in the whole house, So it's there, and so I take it out of my ear just to leave it on the couch, and I just hear this guy chirping for literally, the game takes 20 minutes to complete, and he didn't stop for 1 second. Like, he's just going off, saying all the type of things you say usually when when we're not recording, all those words. So I was really, taken aback.
I had to download the Xbox app on my phone so I could type back to people who talk shit to me.
Yeah, exactly, because if you do it with the controller,
like,
they've written 8 one-liners at you in like the minute that you're just trying to like, you suck.
Like the first time I got an emoji on my Xbox message, was like, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
Man, no, I got the Xbox controller, so the Xbox app on my phone. So every time someone says retire, you fucking suck, I'll go, no, you. And then
that's good.
Dude, the no you is the best comeback because they go in a spiral. They just keep going. And you just say no you to everything they say, and you're doing pretty good.
Once I got my ass whooped so badly but refused to leave the whole time just because I wanted to score a goal and then leave during the replay of my goal.
Yes, the ultimate move, yeah.
But that never happened because I never scored the goal. And then at the end, he wrote some like really mean message about how good he was and how bad I was. And I wrote back something like... this is why my brother tells me never to play on his account. Like, just as to make it seem like, make this guy feel bad because he's like, But I never got a message back, and I'm just this weird liar. Like, it's so twisted.
Little
why would
bitch.
I do that? Who knows why I would do that? Who knows why I do half the things that I do?
Good point. Very good point. I brought up the name before, but I watched a movie this weekend because for some reason, like, I got an ad for like a movie coming out that said it was filmed in Montreal. So I went to look at the Wikipedia page of movies filmed in Montreal, and I saw this movie.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot, but like I saw this movie, that was written by Charlie Kaufman, which is Adaptation, Synecdoche, New York, all these fucking great movies.
I loved Jim Carrey's version of him. That was sick.
Right. And the movie also had Sam Rockwell, who I think is one of the best like character, like just a great actor. And
I know that.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which was fucking ruined by George Clooney directing it. Just absolute fucking film school, like fucking weird colors for some reason sometimes, and it makes no sense whatsoever. But at one point, you see them Sam Rockwell going back to. So Sam Rockwell in the movie plays the guy who invented the dating game, the Newlywed Game, the host of the Gong Show, who
might have been a CIA agent.
Exactly, was a self-professed CIA spy and murderer. And Mike Patterson plays like just an office goof in the movie. He doesn't have any lines, but you just see him like in the background, like pretty prominently in the background enough that I was like, that's fucking Mike Patterson.
That's great. That's great when you see someone you fully know.
And
we were like, because just to the smallest degree, like my girlfriend and I were at my mother's house just watching TV, and all of a sudden a commercial comes on, and Rodney's like driving a car in the commercial, and I'm like, is that? And it is, and we're freaking out. And then he's talking to an insurance agent. It switches to the insurance agent, who is my neighbor.
No way.
Yeah, I swear to God. And so I remember I saw it. Carly was like, my girlfriend was still in the bathroom,
Carlito.
and then she, Carl,
and
then like I paused it, rewound it because it was actually on real TV because my mom still has a real TV, and then when she came out, I was like, watch this, and so she saw Rodney, started freaking out, and then Holly came on, she literally like almost fainted to the ground, because it's so stupid and small, but it's just it's so nice.
I thought it was cool the first time I saw Rodney. But what I do is like I have the Roku stick or whatever for Netflix and stuff because my TV's not a smart TV. And Roku has its own shows, like it has Unsolved Mysteries, like the whole fucking thing, and has like a bunch of like HGTV Canada shows or whatever. So the first time I see Rodney, I'm like, that's cool, but they play ads during the shows because it's free, right? You don't need to pay anything for the Roku channel, and you watch 3 hours of TV and you see Rodney 75 times, and also Chris Sandiford in the fucking BMO commercial with the eclipse. So you see these two Toronto comics literally 90 times in a 3 hour span because it's the only commercials that play back to back. And it's just I don't need to see you guys anymore. I feel like I've hung out with you.
Dude, I work for Manulife, and they had this giant electronic billboard that would change every 10 seconds. And Chris Sanford, Mr. the Black Bernie Sanders himself, he had this fucking billboard on that would like almost every time I was out, he was just staring at me. And plus, he also on Instagram posts like pretty much himself naked a lot.
Yeah.
So that's what I saw. Like I just saw his like abs and his weird belly button in my face the whole time. And I was like, what is going on?
And all you can think is like, you didn't fucking book me at Shaika the first fucking 5 months I did comedy for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, and I'm paying for your OnlyFans, and you don't even treat me like a big deal at all. You don't give me enough credit.
No, too very
I
nice
feel like
guys.
he might have an OnlyFans. He's a very nice guy, but nice people can have OnlyFans. It's not.
I wasn't talking about the OnlyFans. You said OnlyFans. As I said, he's a very nice guy. I wasn't shitting on him. It's just that the first time I went to do, I tried to get a spot at his show. He told me to go try the Nest first, so try the open mic. And meanwhile, I had been doing comedy for like a year and a half at that point, trying to work up the courage to do other shows besides the clubs, like the club open mics. And meanwhile, I'm like sitting at a comics table with like, just who was there at the time, like fucking Cameron Phoenix and all that shit. I don't know. All that to say, he seems like he's doing well now. He's like on every Canadian show.
But he's a comedian that made you feel like not that you hold any grudge or that he's an asshole, but he made you feel kind of shitty when you start. I love few comedians that just rub say something like that you're just always like, what the fucking motherfucker.
He ran the show with someone who we did their podcast recently, Daniel Karen.
Yep.
And I feel like they have a very similar sort of vibes as to you and me. Whereas like Daniel remembered my face the whole time, and Chris never did. Whereas like same thing with me, I'll remember every new comic's face, and you're like, who the fuck is this bitch trying to get a spot? Yeah. Anyway.
That's quite accurate. It's true. But the difference is that you're at Grumpy's all the time. So like I
did run the open mic, which is probably for another year or two away. Insane.
Insane. Well,
I'll be
I don't know. We'll see what
37
happens.
I'll
this
be
summer.
your age when you started comedy by the time I.
They'll like maybe they'll open something on their patio or something in the summer.
It was open last summer. It was open, the bar, but there's never going to be an open mic there unless the vaccine is like rampant through society and like no one can get it again.
It's just hilarious because like what chance do we stand when if after the winter's done they're like, okay, you're free, and then everybody just gets it in a minute. You know what I mean?
No, because the whole thing is air circulation. There's just none of it in the winter. That's all it is. In the summer, everything went down because you're allowed to just be outside. You can hang out with people who are asymptomatic 6 feet away, and you're gonna be fine, probably more than likely.
I can't wait.
Anyways,
I had
what else besides? So Confessions of a Dangerous Mind was a piece of shit.
Yeah,
piece of shit.
It's bad, and it's like you can tell that he's like I think I'm also a Coen brother. I'm pretty sure.
Right, so many of those
I'm
moments.
also one of them.
But all that was him fucking up Charlie Kaufman's script for sure, because Charlie Kaufman writes these like outlandish, like quirky scripts and all that shit, and it was just like washed away from all of that. It was just such a standard like paint by numbers movie. And then he was like also had to throw in the fact that like, hey, remember I'm friends with these two, and you just see like Brad Pitt and Matt Damon have non-speaking roles for a second. It's like, remember, don't forget, wink wink, nudge nudge.
I hate that shit.
Yeah,
there's like so much of that like you know what made me so mad? I think we might have even talked about it. Is Ocean's. Who cares? The second one, the second
the Julia
Oceans.
Roberts one.
Holy
the move where
shit.
they're like, you look like Julia Roberts. Yeah, fuck that shit.
That made me, and then Bruce Willis is playing himself, and it's just like I can't take these people thinking they're the most important people in the world. Like it's so goddamn annoying.
On the other end of the movies, but I watched The Invisible Man, not the Kevin Bacon one where you see his dick when he's invisible, but Elizabeth Moss from Mad Men.
Well, first of all, that's you in a nutshell. First of all, okay, you would say the patriarch that you are would choose Mad Men as her choice and not The Handmaid's Tale.
I haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale. I've only read the book because
you're the patriarch. Because you are the problem with society.
Right.
You're.
Sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Are you telling me all my women's lit classes that I took in university count for nothing?
You know that bitch who used to suck Don Draper's dick?
She absolutely did not once, and that they never hooked up. Peggy
Sue. Okay, yeah. So that movie's good until the end. Like it's good, and then the end.
It's still fine. The end, and I like that they were like, you know what? We have a suit that makes you invisible, but guess what? We're not gonna fucking tell you how it works. It just happens. All right.
Yeah, they don't need
to
because he's so smart. That guy is an awful actor.
No, it's not Armie Hammer.
No. But you can tell that they couldn't afford someone for that part.
But he's the guy from Haunting of Hill House and all that shit.
Who cares?
I don't know. He's like an up and coming.
He's up and coming up your ass in your dreams.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I do love that scene though when like she's sitting in the restaurant talking to her spoilers.
Yeah, the sister.
She's talking to her sister and everything's chill, and that knife just raises.
I know.
You're like, wow, that was fun.
Did not expect that. I was so like involved too. I was like, what's she gonna do? What is she gonna do now, huh? Yeah. Tell me what the fuck. How do you get out of this now? There's no way. She's fucked, man. She's completely fucked.
You're just having a grand old time. I watched more. I watched a really screwed up documentary called "There's Something Wrong with Aunt Diane."
Oh yeah, that one fucking sucks, man.
Dude, that sucks. First of all, like halfway through, you realize you're just watching a family in denial, like just lying about something that happened that they're just like not able to settle with. If you want to know, it is watchable, but it's a story, an awful story about a woman who drove her minivan at 75 miles an hour into the wrong direction on a highway and smashed another car and killed every single person inside.
A real pick-me-up of a story on a Sunday afternoon.
She's a goofball. She's a goofball.
Don't talk to her before she's had her glass of wine. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And so, and the bottom line is that like she was caught with like almost like 8 ounces of vodka, not like she tons of vodka in her blood, and then 8 ounces in her stomach that wasn't even absorbed
digested,
yet.
Yeah.
digested yet. And then like the first thing they saw near the crash site was a bottle of Absolute vodka, and she killed everybody, including 4 kids.
Right.
And she the husband and like whatever sister or whatever, just the whole time talking about how it's the toxicology report is wrong. She's never drinking. She doesn't drink.
Right. Not a secretive alcoholic who drinks vodka because you can't smell it on your breath. You know, nothing like that.
Dude, I was like that's like anybody with a vice wishes to meet people, have people like that in their lives. I was like, these are the type of people you want in your life if you like to do recreational drugs. You know, like
you've got a crippling disease, such as like addiction or whatever. Yeah, you want these idiots. That one sucked. I watched that and like Dear Zachary pretty much in the same week.
That one sucks so much.
Just the saddest. Nothing good happens.
I've said while we watch, like I remember, I didn't remember it completely years later, and I was rewatching. And while watching, I'm like, "There's no reason to watch this. It is only gut wrenching.
Yeah.
It is the only thing that's happening, and I just don't see why you have to put yourself through this. You know what I mean? It's like when they used to make us watch these documentaries of the Holocaust in fucking high school, and it's like, dude, you're just scarring us with crazy imagery. Nothing's coming of this. You know, it's insane. You're just burning it into our brains. There's no reason for it.
Yeah, no, there's no reason to watch either one of those movies, Aunt Diane or Dear Zachary. Just absolute, just grief porn or whatever. You know,
grief porn. Yeah. I had a brutal Monday, man. So Monday morning, I was like not feeling the week coming up, you know, just like couldn't believe it. Just, you know, like you said, just looking around, being like, what are we doing? Like, what is any day for? You know. So I was like, you know, you do your normal things when you have like morning routines. Everyone does, you know, things you check news and sites. And one of mine tends to be my porn, like my important site that I like the most.
On a Monday morning.
In the morning, I'm a morning guy. I like to review. Like I go to my movie blog. I go to my everything. You know,
in your little closet, in that little office closet you have.
In my closet, or even on the shitter.
Right.
Like even when I'm on the shitter. But the thing is, what I'm pretty much doing is I'm going to the news section,
right?
And just seeing if there's anything there that I'm like, just so I know that's there.
Bookmarked internally.
Yeah, exactly. Like reason to maybe go there later, right? You know. So in the morning, I was like doing it on I was on my computer and I was like looking through, and I went on and I was like, oh, a new one, and I was like, I'll play it. You know, I'm fucking in a bad mood. I'll like see some wet and hard.
Yeah.
So I like start pressing play, and I'm like,
I've seen these two guys before.
Exactly. I'm like, boring.
Yeah.
I know he can take it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, on the volume's like being weird, so I start playing with it. I'm like, oh, it's because my headphones aren't plugged in. So I plug in my headphones. The volume's still not getting anything. All of a sudden, I just see my girlfriend standing there with her earbuds, with her AirPods in, going, watching porn.
Hell yeah.
I was fucking lost. At first, I think in a moment in my brain was like, say no, just say no. And I'm like, she's looking at it and hearing it. And I'm like, I can't believe, because she was connected through Bluetooth to my computer because she was doing yoga a few nights ago, an online course.
Yeah.
And I completely didn't even think of that. And it was the most awkward, fucking hilarious. And it's the second time it's happened. Once it was my phone while I was on the shitter and I was doing it was connected to a Bluetooth speaker.
Which I don't know what's worse, is to be attacked like internally in your ears or to be attacked by your surroundings. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, if I ever have kids, I'm like, swear to God, they're gonna be sitting with their friends in the living room and just porn's gonna be coming out of the Alexa. Like, oh, Dad doesn't really know how to work the fucking home system.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I gotta be worried. Gotta watch it. So that happened, which was, you know,
good way to start the week, eh?
Not ideal when you have to talk. She's like, it's 8 a.m. I'm like, mm-hmm. And she's like, I don't even understand. I'm like, I don't know what's
just I work on a different level.
You're not gonna change me, okay?
Jesus Christ. That's great. I don't know what's up with me. I've been like doing. Your girlfriend's been doing yoga. I've been doing home workouts. You know.
Yeah.
3-4.
You doing home workouts?
Yeah. Got free workouts on YouTube.
I literally wore a T-shirt because I just shoveled, and it's the most buff I felt.
Dude, I've been working out, let's say 3-4 times a week for like two weeks now, and I have probably lost 30 of the 35 pounds I put on the last year, and gained, I would say, probably 57 pounds of muscle, all in my pecs, arm, and in my dick. You know.
Yeah, I'm very impressed.
I put a lot of dick muscle on.
I felt it when you put it on my lap.
Yeah.
I was like, that's heavier than I am used to.
No, but just like no weight workouts, which I haven't done since I was like 15, 16, when I like fucking had to do plyometrics with my hockey team, which is brutal. I demand
all my girlfriends know plyometrics. That's actually on a first date. I'm like, do you know plyometrics? It's like, no, like get the fuck out. It's gonna be boring.
If you've never done plyometrics, just imagine jumping from the lowest position you could possibly take in a squat, and then do that over and over again, and then do it with one leg in front, and then do it with the other leg in front, and then it's just jumping basically.
Do it on my dick.
Hell yeah. Plyometrics suck, dude. It's what made me hate working out.
Okay, so what are you doing now? Like, what's your routine?
Just like,
teach me. I'd like to do a little routine.
Dude, it's free. I think it's called fitnessblender.com. You just go on YouTube and they got shit. It's free. It's just no weight. It's like a mix of like kickboxing and like stretching and I don't know. You just punch the air a bit and then your arms feel ripped.
Fitness grinder? Is that what you called it?
Yeah, it's fit this dick in your ass, bitch.
What is it actually? Fitness blender?
Yeah.
I don't like that name. Fuck them.
Yeah, whatever. It's free. And, I've been doing that. Like I said, dick muscle.
What was your joke? Is that the joke?
No, that was not it.
I was just like, did we get to the joke? Did I miss the joke?
Nah.
I was like, because there've been funny moments. I'm just curious.
Yeah. No, that was pre-written. No, the joke, we'll get to it organically, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can't wait. So I was late a little bit to this because I took an evening shower, which is nice.
After shoveling, a post-shovel
dude,
shower.
I shoveled. You know when you come in and you're free, like you're cold but you're sweaty.
Yes, and
your
everything's
body's
sticking
super
to you,
confused.
and your ass gets just itchy with the sweat on the underwear, and like that's the only part for some reason for me. Like I'll get a little itchy at like the small of my back too. I know it's like whatever piece of clothing is sticking to you where it's sweaty, but it's usually it's only the ass.
I know,
you get an itchy ass after working out in the winter.
What's Louis C.K. says the upside down cup of water
right
in your asshole?
No, but it's also the cheeks for some reason just gets so itchy.
If you got a bidet, you know,
okay.
I swear to God,
you just wipe your cheeks with the bidet. You just spray around,
dude. Oh yeah, I bring it back and forth, and I move this way. I move left and right while I bring the hose back and forth.
You don't need fitnessblender.com. You're doing your own core workout on this shitter every day.
Dude, when you learn how to loosen that hole up, when you're just like, okay, like when you just teach your body to just let those muscles loosen up, you literally feel like you could open your mouth and have it come out of your, like it goes in you, and it just makes you feel like you have to shit again. Like it's another thing what's great about it is every time you try to convince yourself you're done shitting, all you do is do a little enema, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God,
I don't need that in my life. I shit a lot as a natural state of being.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I shit like a very like easygoing day where I'm not shitting a lot is probably 3 shits.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not good.
Why you need to carry a barrel around?
No, but here's the thing. It's like there's a lot of psychological stuff associated. I've realized that I usually shit more when I'm working than when I'm not.
Okay.
So like even like doesn't matter if it's a desk job or like I used to work at a warehouse and I would shit 6 times a day at the warehouse, like stocking shelves and shit. And
dude, speaking of Wasim fucking shits every time before a set. Almost every single time he hogs up the fucking bathroom, makes it smell like goddamn something died in there.
And now we know he's
like
listening to this. Leave him alone, man.
And it's every time it's crazy. Like I just, if you're at a show with him to just not go near the, like I usually go to a bathroom to vape a little bit, you know, like it's my vape spot, and I will not if he's in the house.
Especially not at the 2 venues like the hostel where we ran the show. Yes. Because that's a 1-stall bathroom, so whoever's shitting there is taking it over smell wise. And then the comedy nest, the art loft, the comedy nest and the art loft. It's all just one. You're done. It's just it's a single.
Dude, I'm
occupancy.
so jealous I'm so jealous of the confidence to just lay a shit carpet down into a bathroom, just like lay shit wallpaper and shit curtains,
right.
and just leave and let another person walk in and just be like, "That's life." I can't. I could never. Like I couldn't do it.
Right.
I just hold it in until it's like coming out of my throat, and I'm just like in pain, and then I'll let it go in the comfort
all this
zone.
shitting talk is making me have to go shit now. I swear to God, it's psychosomatic. I don't know what's going on.
So I shoveled it. I came back in, and I just like for 1 second raised an armpit. I was like, "Oh my God, what the fuck!" It smelled like your face after we leave a room together.
Right. Like Parmesan cheese.
Yeah. But yeah, it was it was nice. A nice little afternoon shower with a little bit of Jameson in the shower. And
what the fuck? I mean, I've heard of shower beers before, but like Jameson in the shower.
I guess shower beer makes more sense. It's hot and cold. It's an interesting combo.
It's cold, and also there's a small mouth opening, so you don't get shower water in there.
It's been my issue with you since we met, Jason.
Small mouth opening.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jeff Bezos, he's stepping down.
Yeah, I'd like to take this opportunity to announce that I will be taking over as CEO of Amazon.
Yeah.
How about those stocks, huh?
Yeah.
Did GameStop? You don't even look at your stock shit, do you?
Not so much, but I do enjoy this whole shorting thing.
Yeah,
it's very interesting.
Pretty cool. And I like that I only understand what's going on because I watched The Big Short about a month ago.
I'm such a loser. I rewatched it last night.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It really explains a lot, dude. It's a very the movie. It's like explained a lot as to what's going on.
It's a cool story, and that's like one of those movies where you're done and then you look up all the real people and you try to imagine them like in these actual situations. Like Christian Bale's character is just a weird, cool guy who has access to so much money, and he's just such a I don't know. It's crazy to see people in those roles of just all that stress. Like I would never want that role of managing everybody's life savings. It's insane to me.
No, I can't imagine like. Just like you have a bad day and you're like, you know what, fuck it, let's take this gamble. And you're gambling like the richest people in America's fucking money away. Fuck that. I don't know. It's not for me.
But that's why it's such a genius scam, Bernie Madoff scam, because it's like if you could just give somebody a piece and give them fake reports whenever they ask, you could keep it going forever. They will never find out where the fuck their money is.
Yeah.
You know, like it's insane because no one asks for it. You know, like Jeff Bezos will probably never touch the majority of his money. You know,
of course
like
not. He's got
ever.
What does he have? Like 182 billion or some shit.
All right, but my point is like so much of it is stocks, right?
Right. Yeah.
That he's never going to cash out. Like he'll never cash that. They'll just live there forever, you know. And their number will change, and he'll be more and more rich. But the truth is, he's never ever touching it. You know, it's just sitting there as a number.
Yeah.
That in a stock, it's just so crazy. It's hilarious. I remember the first time. It's so funny as you grow up with economics, right? Like at first it makes no sense, and then the truth is it doesn't make any sense. But you're just calmed into accepting it as what it is. Of course. You know?
I mean, like, I failed macro and microeconomics. Mm-hmm. I failed out of business school. And only now am I getting a grasp as to what's going on. I still don't fucking get it. Because it's all made up.
You're only getting a grasp because you're finally having money for the first time in your life that you're like actually watching. And it's exciting. It is really funny when you live the poor life. You don't know how addictive saving money is.
It's so sick.
But like not just sick, but it's addicting. You know,
it is. It's like a video game. It's like watching your score go up in a video game. It's amazing.
Once you actually start seeing that number go up and like being like a real substantial something, like even whether it be your first time when you actually have $10,000, you know, and you're like, holy shit, you know, and you don't want to lose that. You don't want it to be none. Do you need that 10,000? You don't, but you just weirdly will stick to your budget and stick to the money that you have because you don't want that number to change at all. Like it's a weird feeling. Maybe that, or we're just getting along because you have some Jewishness. It's a rude
dude.
thing.
I just finally it was explained to me like this year at 30 years old that if I don't make 2% of my money back every year I'm losing it to inflation, and now I'm like, what the fuck was I doing my whole life? You know?
Oh, that's crazy. Well, now you're a property owner.
Yeah, exactly.
You got that going for you. You got some investments. Look at you, you big man. You're such a big
man.
Man.
It's not the investments. Fuck that. I gambled around with I had a little bit of money that I gambled around on penny stocks and stuff, and that's fun. You know, not the real investments. I implore everybody with like $10 to go buy some fucking penny stocks and see how it goes.
I invested in
some research, you know.
I'm investing in Chris Sanford's OnlyFans. I think that's where my money's going. I'm gonna short yours,
right?
But I'm gonna invest hard in his.
What was I gonna say? Mercury's in retrograde.
Huh? What does that mean? Is that a real thing?
It's a real thing.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Astrology shit. You're probably your girlfriend.
My girlfriend definitely said it to me. Yeah. No, she said it like last week. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mercury's in retrograde, which is like it lasts like a month. Okay. And I read it just popped up on my Google News for some reason. I don't know what the fuck's been said around my phone that it thinks this is, good for me to know. But it said when Mercury's in retrograde, don't be surprised if your electronics go on the fritz. It's not a good time to buy electronics, and also don't sign important documents.
What?
Yeah.
In regard to you can't just say that. You can't. No, but that makes no sense.
Exactly.
There's no science. You can't just say because the planet. That's like saying the Jews are against us because religion. You know what I mean? And you're just accepting it. You can't just accept it, Jason.
So this is what I gotta say about retrograde. Retrograde, back in high school, the kids that were in retrograde were allowed to smoke in class. You know what I mean? The kids in retrograde didn't have to do math after algebra. You know, they just got to. Back in high school, the kids in retrograde used to bring the attendance sheet to the teachers, and we'd all boo the kid.
Yeah, you saved the best for last.
Yeah.
I like that about you.
Yeah, I forgot. That was the joke I wrote. Basically, the joke is that retrograde is for people with lower IQ.
Yeah, retro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you retro?
Yeah. No, but
retrograded.
Retrograded. I don't know what the. I wrote retrograde on Google. I don't know what the thinking is behind Mercury being in retrograde, like electronics not working. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be about. I don't know what the signing important documents shit's supposed to be about. Apparently, like, shit fucks up. But I bought my home the last time Mercury was in retrograde, and there was only it's barely any hitches.
But it happens every few months. I don't
understand.
understand.
It was like October to November, like mid-October, mid-November last time, and now it's happening again. It's like a month-long thing.
So there's a planet called Mercury, for our listeners. I know all this, but for our listeners. And what does it mean that it's in retrograde? What does that mean?
It's in a class lower than the class of its peers, where it can't do math.
Right. Okay. It takes a different bus to school. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It takes the shortest distance from the sun back to school.
Yeah. Okay, I understand.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're saying this shit for. I don't know, dude.
It really bothers me. Astrology, like people who bank a lot into it. You know, I was once having a conversation with a close friend of mine. Hadn't seen him in a while. He was in Toronto. I was there to do I don't know for what reason, and then I was probably doing a Chippendales or something.
Right.
And we were chatting, and he started really talking kind of like how he kind of really believes certain things about his life because of astrology. And I really started like almost mocking, the way I am.
Right.
I get too snarky, and I just think it's hilarious. And he I could see him not talking anymore and just shutting down,
This is why I don't share. This is why I don't share with friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Stupid idiot.
I can't handle it. I remember once an ex it had this crazy book. It was like the biggest book in the world,
right.
And it looked like the one like Robert Downey Jr. stands on to be equal to other
right.
actors in movies.
It was bigger than the Bible.
Yeah, it was definitely both testaments combined.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes into it, and she's like, and she's checking the birthday, and she asks me for the exact minute that my sister was born,
right.
and all this stuff.
The birth chart.
And she's Yeah, the birth chart and the stone, and she asked me to send her a picture of her clitoris, so she could like put it all in retrograde or whatever it is. And then she does this thing, and then she reads it to me, and I go, "Holy shit, that is exactly like my sister." Like I was like almost at the point where I was like convinced. Right. She's like, and all I had she's like, isn't it crazy? I go, well, I'm only 1 month apart. I'm in March, and she's like, oh, 1 month apart. She's like, no. You said your sister was in January, and I was like, no, her birthday's not in January. And she looked for the wrong profile completely, And I was like, oh, you see, you're screwed. You're screwing with my head.
You're getting my head,
just
dude.
Bullshit. I love how some guy in the paper, his job or her job is just to write what your future might be, and some people are just taking that as law. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
I listen. I don't know. I'm not covering any tracks here. Okay. All I know is that the moon makes the water move, and that's a lot. Okay. The moon's gravitational pull makes waves happen. Okay. That's something I can't explain. So maybe other planets make shit happen on a smaller level. I don't fucking know.
Dude, the planets are aligned. There's fucking stuff. The crust of the earth. I fucking don't care.
I don't understand how fucking Wi-Fi works. You think I understand how planets might affect? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Maybe.
Well, Wi-Fi is really simple.
Yeah.
Years ago, Al Gore put a curse on the wind.
Thank you for quoting my joke word for word, actually.
Wi-Fi.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I probably still could do your set. Some of Gabe's set, pretty good.
Yeah.
Harrison, definitely I could do chunks.
Yeah. No
I
one can do yours
certain
because you talk too fast and you have no jokes.
Ooh, thank you, Jason, for that boost of confidence.
Yeah. Sorry.
I appreciate it. Rodney was talking in that video today. Rodney Ramsey, the comedian. If you were just tuning in now, welcome. It's me, Oren.
Why would they just? You know what? I'm gonna skip to the 53-minute mark. And
if you're just tuning in, make sure to like and subscribe and add yourself and vote.
Yeah.
But he was talking about his writing process, and
it was a good interview on CBC on the Canadian Broadcast Corporation.
It was, but you probably didn't watch the whole thing because the audio is completely screwed up.
Oh, I watched it on my phone. It was fine. I just watched it out loud on my phone, and it was.
Oh, it's weird. Out loud.
I mean, I wasn't like listening on headphones. What I mean, like it was just using.
Could you turn it on out loud? Make it go out loud.
Are you talking about
you're talking to somebody, you're like, am I on out loud mode? That's so annoying.
My phone speaker is what I meant. And also, do you mean the audio was fucked up because he was wearing a mask the whole time?
No, but that's what's so funny is that I like maybe it was my computer. It's possible my computer was running slower and my VPN was being weird, but it definitely at one point
Your varied
was like,
pussy network was running weird, huh?
It only took you 35 seconds for that one.
It took me like good. 4, and also that's what you used to watch your pornography.
No, it's more what I use to access HBO Go,
right,
and to access all videos on Netflix all over the world.
Right, you can still do that.
Yeah, it works so well.
Oh, okay.
It's hilarious. Whenever I want to watch a movie, I just type it into Netflix, press search, and then just change my country until I find it, and eventually it's there.
I stopped trying because they shut me down on. I think it's because I use one of the most popular VPNs, and that they shut down a bunch of the IPs a while ago, and I couldn't because I used to watch the US Netflix all the time, and then it stopped at one point.
Yeah, ExpressVPN is the one I use.
I use something private access or something.
Maybe they'll sponsor us.
Penis and ass.
Penis and ass. Yes. I wanted to talk about. I wish I had something to say after that.
Right. That'd be so cool, man. If you had something to say after that.
Just had another topic to move into.
I don't know, man. I've been cooking a lot, man. I made my first carbonara.
I don't trust your food. I don't know why, Jason. It's weird. It's like there's some people I meet that even if they say it's amazing, I don't know. Explain to me your process of carbonara.
What do you mean? It's a normal process. It's the way.
No, you see, that's already like carbonara is a very. Tons of people make it differently.
No, you're not supposed to make it differently. You're not supposed to use any fucking bullshit. You're supposed to use Parmesan.
You're supposed to listen to Guy Fieri do it exactly how he says.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
Explain
it. Paint a picture.
Okay, well, I didn't have 2 of the main ingredients that you're supposed to have. I had substitute ingredients. You're not supposed to use pancetta. You're supposed to use guanciale, which is the pork cheek. Okay? I don't have access to fucking guanciale, or I don't live near.
Who told you that, by the way?
What do you mean? It's the way it's done in Rome. You're supposed to use guanciale.
You think that this pasta originally was created through the process, and people will be like, "No, we don't eat it like that because you don't have the exact." You don't think it was probably made in tons of ways with tons of different porks?
What are you doing?
Because you're being specific for no reason. Okay, go on. So you use pancetta.
Is that how you say it? Pancetta. Pancetta.
You use the pancetta. Yeah.
The other thing I didn't have Parmesan. Eh?
You didn't have Parmesan?
No, I bought Grana Padano, which is like a cheaper version. It's almost the same, but it's not the same because Parmesan's fucking $30 a fucking kilo or whatever the hell. And,
go for a pecorino romano.
Well, that's the thing. You can do half Parmesan, half pecorino. And I have the fucking pecorino, so...
just guys from around the block talking
seriously,
food.
This is a nice little pro tip. If you see Grana Padano in your grocery store, that's a good alternative for Parmesan, about half the price. Basically, you take a couple of egg yolks, no whites. Yep. Okay, save the whites for breakfast. All right, take some egg yolks. You probably around 3 to 4 egg yolks for about 300 grams of pasta. All right.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right, and then you grate around, I don't fucking know, like 200 grams of cheese, maybe. I don't know, a third of the thing I had. You know. My
gaped butthole full of cheese.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And you whisk that around. I fucked up a little bit with my timing. Okay. I start preparing my sauce a little early. That's the egg yolk and the cheese. So it kind of like stiffened up a little bit. What you can do though is if you do that too early, you whisk it above the boiling water and it'll soften it up. Okay.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah. And then you take your pancetta. Okay. And you'll want to get rid of a bit of the grease. It's gonna be too greasy. That's gonna be the problem. You want to get rid of a bit of the grease. You boil your pasta. I use pappardelle, all right, because that's what I had. I didn't want to use. I fuck spaghetti. Okay, I have a whole 6-minute bit on.
You fuck spaghetti?
No, I said fuck spaghetti. I don't fucking use spaghetti. I like a thicker noodle. Yeah. So once your spaghetti.
That's why we're together, baby.
Hell yeah. Your dick's flat but thick. All right.
Yes, you like it.
You put your pasta in the pancetta sauce in the pan, all right. Then you put your mixture of cheese and egg in there, and then it fucking cooks the cheese and egg. Because with the heat of the pasta, and you mix it all together, and then you got
okay. You are you. It sounds good, but you're explaining it like an asshole. It's like, really put your pork down, let that fat render in the heat. Then you take your cooked pasta, you put it in there.
Well, of course you cook the pork. What do you think? You don't cook the pork? You don't cook the pork?
Well, you didn't say that. You didn't.
No, sorry. I just leave the fucking the raw pork sit on the side.
And you use pasta water. You didn't use any pasta water?
Well, I did use pasta water, but the thing is that I didn't have to because you just don't have to. You don't have to use pasta water if you use enough egg. I put too much egg and too much cheese, so I put pasta water, and it was too watery after. It was good as a leftover.
Mixing the cheese and the egg is a bad idea because the cheese melts at a weird rate. You should put your cheese last. It should be the last thing you put on.
No.
Yeah,
you save some cheese for the end, but you mix the egg and the cheese at the same time.
And here's another little trick for you that you'll like. When you're done, you make a nice, especially with pappardelle, you make a nest of it with a little bit of a well in the center on your plate.
Yeah.
And then you take one egg yolk and you just let
what
it
are you, a
sit
little
in the
bitch,
center.
huh?
No, not a little bitch. See, that's you. Yeah, that's the way you were raised. That anything creative, little bitch. All you should be doing is putting a thing in a thing. If you're not trying to put a thing in a thing, you're a little bitch. No, that's how you make it delicious. And then you crack that yolk and you mix it in fresh like that.
Yeah.
And it coats it. And oh my God, hot, dripping down my abs. What?
And I forgot the pepper. You got to put some pepper in there.
Yeah, definitely put some pepper, put some salt, put some likes on our face, on our account.
You don't have to put salt if it's fucking with the pancetta. What are you talking about? It's salty enough.
You do.
You don't.
No, you're such a. You didn't even salt your water, right?
Of course you salt your water. You fucking
so then what salt? Then you added salt or no?
Yeah, to the pasta. Of course, every time you cook pasta, you got salt in there. You don't just add salt.
So you added salt.
And also, I fried my own fried chicken. It was great too.
Very impressive. Fried chicken. Are you Korean all of a sudden? I knew I saw something in you.
I went to a Korean grocery store this weekend. They were playing K-pop. It was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great. We'll talk about that next week. Jason's obsession with K-pop and how much he loves that K-pop.
So you just made me just spill out my soul with regards to cooking, and now we're just leaving.
Well, first of all, we're at an hour.
Yeah, about.
And it's true. We did start. No,
whatever. It's a 54-minute episode. We did it, baby. You want to leave? You want to leave?
We've been light on minutes lately.
You know what? It's fine. I think it's fine. People are catching up on old episodes. We cracked the big 1,000 downloads.
1,000 downloads across the globe, baby.
Yeah, Jakarta. Thanks for listening, baby. Huh?
I hate it when people say. You know when people on TV are like, America, I would just like to say,
yeah,
and
you mean
like
6 million people. That's what you mean.
it's so fucking annoying.
You mean?
I just want America to know I'm America. So fucking annoying. So we're talking to the whole fucking world, baby.
I'm gonna go drink another beer and play some NHL after this.
What? Oh yeah, we can't play against each other.
No, I keep wanting to do this, but I never do it. But at one point, I'm gonna put I'm gonna ask my Instagram people my 200 Instagram followers if anyone wants to play Xbox NHL because I'd like to play. I'd like to get my ass kicked against someone I know. You know.
It is fun.
But everyone has PS. Everyone's got a PlayStation.
Yeah, everyone does because we're not goddamn losers. We didn't all get it for free at the gay fair for being the prettiest boy in town.
Well, thank you. Thanks for the compliment. It's very sweet of you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You are pretty. I never said you weren't pretty.
Oh, thanks, man.
And it's not a bad thing.
Why would it be a bad
thing?
Why would it be a bad thing? I'm looking at your background with the Google Podcast, the YouTube, the Apple Podcast, the Spotify, all the places where you can download. I keep trying to fucking get our stuff on the Amazon Podcast for some reason. I don't know why I want it there, and it just keeps never happening. And maybe now you can look for look for our thing on Amazon Podcast. It might be there too.
That's probably why Jeff Bezos stepped down. People found out that you couldn't access our podcast at Amazon, and they were like, "You know what, Jeff? You fucked up."
And another aside, my background because I don't have all my I didn't transfer all my documents from my old computer on my new computer, but this is maybe the best picture I've ever taken in my life.
That you took that?
I took this at my old office, just looking at the street during a horrible rainstorm. If you're not watching and you're listening. It's a man whose umbrella is so broken it's completely inverted, and it's just covering nothing but his face, and it's just the most broken umbrella. And
if you look at it without focusing, it almost looks like a man with a dragon head.
Yeah.
Just walking down, and he's holding like a vape, and he's vaping.
Yeah.
You're like, why is that dragon-headed man vaping? Or he's got a wand.
It was taken at what is now, I guess, a police station on Jean Talon and Mountain Sites at my old office.
It is a beautiful picture. I mean, in all honesty, I would frame that and put it on like a wall because that's like hilarious and it's also just well taken. It's moody.
It was also taken with like an HTC Media 7 phone in 2011 or some shit. I don't know what it was taken with, but I don't know if I have the original still. I think this is like a crop of a crop, you know?
I hate when you have those shitty phones. I used to have this phone. It's called the Zen phone. Who calls a phone a Zen phone? That is
what is that like? What would that be like if someone called it a Zen phone?
It would almost be like Korea and...
Both Koreas, else. You idiot. It's like if North and South Korea took a turn naming the phone. How do you not remember that part of the joke? All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Friendship.